world would be a happier place if all of them are like this. You, who is beyond all the disappointments and desires, is in control of all situations, and you're the happiest of all.
That is true most of the time. But I too have fallen into trouble.
What? You falling into trouble? Impossible. How can that be?
You are lucky because you're a brahmachari. I can manage any situation efficiently. But solving a tiff between my wives is very difficult for me. I once got into trouble with my dear wives, Rukmini and Satyabhama, because of a mere flower. Narada, you cannot forget that incident. You must have had a lot of fun putting me in a difficult situation like that, huh?
Oh, sorry, my lord, but you have to agree that because of that incident, everyone witnessed how Ahankar was burnt down to ashes, how pure and selfless love triumphed at the end. Now, my Rukmini Vallabha.
Narada, you want to put me in trouble again? You never mentioned Satyabhama.
Oh yes, Satyabhama Priya. Please tell me once again how you got out of that tricky situation?
Created by you, of course. Come on, let me humor you.
It was a truly excellent performance by Devi Fine Arts Group. May I now request Shri K.S. Raja, our guest of honor, to kindly come up on stage so we may honor the ballet group. I will now introduce the Shri Krishna Parijatam team. Mrs. Nivedita Mukherjee as Narada in Odissi. Mrs. Aruna Murthy Kalluri as Rukmini in Kuchipudi. Mrs. Nandini Ashok as Krishna in Bharatnatyam. Mrs. Keka Sinha as Satyabhama in Kathak. Mr. Maruti Kotakota, the makeup artist. The truly classic dance ballet that we just saw was brought to you by the directorial and choreographical efforts of Srimati Padma Tatapudi. May I please request her to come up on stage? Yes, she has a fractured foot, so sorry about your condition there. May I please request Dr. Chitra, President of Surya. Now, Surya is a society staging the fine classical arts of Indian music and dance, to please come up on stage and garland Srimati Padma Tatapudi. Dr. Chitra, garlanding Srimati Padma Tatapudi. A big round of applause for the entire group. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Raja. I would like to introduce to you Srimati B.R. Lakshmi Shri. Would you please come up on stage, Srimati Lakshmi? She is the chairman of the cultural subcommittee of Geeta Jayanti 2008. And Srimati Lakshmi and her entire cultural subcommittee have truly been the inspiring force behind this evening's program, and it is a successful fruit of nearly 8 months worth of hard work by all her local Singapore participants that formed her team. May I call upon Mr. Jagdish, Chairman of Geeta Jayanti 2008, to please present our token of appreciation to Srimati Lakshmi Shri.
Before I present the token of appreciation to Lakshmi Ramesh, Mrs. Lakshmi Ramesh, when we started, when the program was initiated by Mr. Ramana, getting the artists coming from India. First of all, I want to thank Ramana to initiate this program. Then I started discussing with Mrs. Lakshmi Ramesh as early as in May, June period. And she has taken tremendous effort in organizing this program today, gathering more than 125 participants to come and perform and deliver such a nice cultural evening program today. So give Mrs. Lakshmi Ramesh a big round of applause. Thank you. And also I want to take this opportunity to mention about Mr. V.G. Ramesh, who is sitting there in the background. Mr. V.G. Ramesh, he put in tremendous effort in organizing the audio, sound, the lighting, the activities for today's program. Mr. V.G. Ramesh, thank you on behalf of the Gita Jayanti Committee. Thank you very much. So.
While Srimati Lakshmi Shri coordinated the local cultural programs, I would also like to call upon Srimati Padma Tatapudi and talk a little bit about her artists. And while she's doing that, I would like to request that the artists please be present on stage. Mrs. Nivedita Mukherjee, Mrs. Aruna Murthy, Mrs. Nandini, and Mrs. Keka, would you please come on stage?
I'd just like to take a few moments to actually let you know what kind of a background effort that we all have gone through for this ballet. We thought that this was a wonderful ballet because it actually gives us an opportunity to put in all the styles of dance and yet give a very profound message that devotion is the only thing that can actually bring people together. But what we found is through our experience of dance, dance itself has no language. That's what people say. But I personally feel after this experience that dance itself is a language to communicate to the entire world. And we as a team have really worked together, and it would be just so right for me to say that though Devi Fine Arts has actually put this show together in the mission of serving the community to bring all the dance forms, especially the classical dance forms, which are actually taking a back seat, we really put them together to bring this out. But each of these artists are renowned in their own fields, running their own schools, and we have just made a very humble effort to actually get the vision right, and that is dance is one. I certainly appreciate all of you coming here and encouraging us. I'm hoping that all the ladies have actually heard the announcement that they should be here. But in the meanwhile, I'd like to actually extend our thanks, sincere thanks to Kannada Sangha, Hindu Endowment Center, and we 5 artists would personally like to thank Mr. P.V. Ramana, who has actually introduced this ballet to the Kannada Sangha and has made it work for us and for you. And it is just the love of this community that has brought that community together, and we've all become one through dance. Mr. P.V. Ramana, we really appreciate it, because I know, and we all know, running our own schools or our own brand names, that how difficult it is to actually pull in everybody's different temperaments. And that's what we are here all for, just to be one. Thank you so much. On behalf of my team, I would like to thank all of you. And since you already have been introduced, I will excuse myself because I'm sure there is some kind of a gap. But I'm sure you appreciate everybody's effort from the bottom of your heart. And we have loved being on this stage. Thank you for welcoming us. Sairam.
Is the Sri Krishna Parijatam troupe on stage, behind stage? Would they be able to come? Okay. All right. This evening's program was sponsored by the philanthropic contributions of Mr. P.V. Ramana and family, and also from S.P. Jain Center of Management. In fact, Mr. P.V. Ramana has sponsored the entire Sri Krishna Parijatam group from India. The S.P. Jain Center of Management is also one of our main sponsors of our event. As you may know, the Ministry of Education, Government of Singapore, has granted S.P. Jain the status of Institution of Higher Learning, one of only 4 international institutions among hundreds to get this prestigious accreditation. Please visit their desk outside this auditorium to get more details about their courses. Our sincere appreciation to Mr. P.V. Ramana and S.P. Jain Center of Management for all their support and contribution. I would like to request Mr. P.V. Ramana as well as Mrs. Rashmi Uday Kumar, Head of Admissions, S.P. Jain Center of Management, to please come up on stage. And I would like to call upon Shri Dayani, the past chairman of Hindu Center and HEB, to please come and award the mementos to Mr. P.V. Ramana and Mrs. Rashmi Uday Kumar. Mr. P.V. Ramana. Srimati Rashmi Uday Kumar. Thank you so much, Mr. Dayani. I have a quick announcement to make. For the readers among you, we do have 3 Kannada books, Sanne, Suvi, and Swara, available to you at the front desk. They are books of poetry as well as collection of articles related to contemporary social issues and religion, written by renowned author and literary figure from Bangalore, Srimati G.V. Renuka. So please do not miss this opportunity to add these books from an award-winning author to your collection.
Let love and devotion fill the hearts of all the earthlings, and do your karma without self-desires. I have given you the Holy Gita to refer and find answers. Understand and apply it honestly for maximum benefits. The Gita is not bound by time. It is a practical life guide given by me to all my children. The mere chanting of shlokas will give pleasure and bliss. Remember that I love you all equally, and I will always help and protect you. Propagate the Bhagavad Gita to the true seekers.
Krishna, 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 Krishna.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to our Sutradharas. our Krishna Paramatma, and to Narada. Can you please come up on stage? Sheetal Bharadwaj as Krishna Paramatma and Sharanya Jamadagni as Narada. They truly did weave tonight's programs and the audience together through their charismatic dialogues. Can I please request Mr. Gurunathan, President of Hindu Center, to award Krishna Paramatma and Narada with our mementos of appreciation. Sharanya Jamadagni, Sheetal Bharadwaj. Thank you, Mr. Gurunathan. A quick reminder that delicious dinner will be served soon after the end of the program. We just have the vote of thanks. And a humble request to please maintain order and cleanliness while you enjoy the dinner. And again, a reminder that you can get all the information about the courses at SP Jain Course of Management, as well as the Kannada books that are available. So please don't miss your chance to take a look at that desk. Last but not the least, we have the vote of thanks by Mr. Ramdas. Mr. Ramdas, would you please come up on stage? He's the president of the Kannada Sangha, Singapura. Thank you.
Good evening. It's now my privilege to extend a word of thanks on behalf of Kannada Sangha and also on behalf of the Geeta Jayanti 2008 committee. No small measure of word of thanks. Words cannot express it, but we are deeply indebted to all the children who gave us an excellent performance today under the leadership of Lakshmi Shri and her team. We also thank SP Jain Institute, SP Jain Center of Management, and also Mr. P.V. Ramana and family for taking up the sponsorship responsibilities, as also the team from Smartel and Hebron Travels and Tours Private Limited. You would have seen the desk outside. Please avail of the opportunities they are offering you. There are offers from them for your communication purposes. We are also indebted to Devi Fine Arts from Mumbai under the leadership of Srimati Padma, and also the participants, the directors, the coordinators, volunteers who have made this a grand success. We are also thankful to CMAX Productions for audio-visual support and Michael Tan and his team from DBS Auditorium for providing us this auditorium. We are also thankful to Kalsa Printers for the printing of flyers and tickets, and Sagar Ratna for providing us the delicious dinner which will be served immediately after this vote of thanks. We are thankful to Chinmaya Seva Center for providing us the premises for practice. For the last 8 months, we have been regularly having practices, and the Chinmaya Seva Center has been very gracious to provide us their premises. We are also thankful to Mrs. Bhagya Murthy and Mr. Lazar for helping us with the remixing of the music. And finally, we thank Mr. K.S. Raja and Mrs. Ramya. She was on a way back to US from Bangalore, and then we happened to be in need of an MC because our original MC was down with a sore throat. So Mrs. Ramya, she kindly accepted our invitation to be the MC for today, and she has helped us, and then she did a very great job. Thank you. And finally, on behalf of Kannada Sangha and on behalf of the Geeta Jayanti committee, I thank all of you for having been with us here today, because without you, we wouldn't have been able to make this a success. It is the bridge, the future generation of ours, the children, they have provided us a very good insight into Bhagavad Gita, and then that is the bridge that is going to take us forward. Thank you so much. Please enjoy your dinner, and please help us to keep the place clean. we are responsible to keep the place clean, and the dinner is in packed form, so it shouldn't be very difficult. Thank you. Good night.